hangings. So we're at Fort Smith and kind of retracing my fourth great-grandfather, Timothy Emerson Ranney, who came here as a missionary in the 1840s, mid to late 1840s, and stayed here until the beginning of the Civil War. And turns out from the videos and stuff, during that time that the military was dispensed from here. A lot of supplies and things like that went out west, which he was a little west of here in Oklahoma, what is now in Oklahoma. And so a lot of the supplies were to come here. I don't know if he actually came here, but in his diaries he does mention Fort Smith quite a bit. This building behind me was actually built after he was here, but now we're headed to this building. Places like this take a lot of slate. I think I found their stockpile. Turns out this place is a lot newer too than when they would have been here. This was probably built in the 1870s and was the general store pretty much. Well, the people who ran this store lived here. Seems like a damp existence. Really puts in perspective how long ago my relatives would have been here. It was, the 1845 to 1861. Really, the history of this really picks up during the Civil War and after the Civil War. But yeah, they were here a long time ago. Elizur Butler. So we're in the Fairview Cemetery in Van Buren, Arkansas. Why are we here? Well, Mr. Butler was, I guess, one of the lawyers that fought against Andrew Jackson for the removal of the Indians from Georgia and what became the Trail of Tears. And so as I understand it, he was friends with my great-grandfather, Timothy Emerson Ranney, and they were both about the Indians and about abolitionist movements and all that stuff. Of course, as history bore out, they won that case against Andrew Jackson, but Trail of Tears happened anyway. But this was one of the heroes of that movement. So when he died, when Elizur died, Timothy was the reverend presiding over his funeral, so I presume he stood around here and gave the funeral rites. And so it's just fun to go and be at an actual spot where they were at, since I don't know where his son was born exactly. It was somewhere around here, but we're going to go kind of tromp around for that a little later. But this is a spot that he definitely was here, so that's the connection. hot day, but we made it. The bike took some adventuring. Our first Airbnb, which is this cute little place here. Pretty sweet, nice little kitchen. Rough edge. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That closet in here, yeah, it's locked. All for 70 bucks a night. Seems pretty reasonable. Considering you're paying 65 a night last night for a total like Motel Bates. All right, so this Airbnb is a little limited in the cooking department. There is charcoal, but there's no charcoal starter fluid or any of that. So after struggling with the firebox to get something going, I remembered, oh, we got a gas stove. So I fired up the gas stove under the firebox to get the charcoal going. Pretty sure that'll work. There's no stove in the place, so Kathy's working on getting our, oven top cooking food and asparagus cooked, It's got a toaster oven, but none of the dishes or anything fit in the toaster oven. None of the plates fit in the microwave. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, we got a little bit creative tonight. So how are you cooking tonight's meal?
Well, it's going to be interesting. The microwave is very tiny. There is a toaster oven, but I have this package, Quickie Alfredo, and there's really no way to cook it. There's no stove or oven. So what I'm doing is I divvied it up into these two bowls, add a cup of water each. I'm measuring with our camp cups. So let's see how this works. I also have asparagus. I had it all cut up and I put it in one large plate, but the plate is not going to fit inside of this tiny microwave. So then I divvied it up and I have a little splash of water in there in both of these. The steak is ready. We happen to have some seasoning with us from a campground previously. I have a cutting board as well, which was nice because there isn't one here. This is definitely not a cooking kitchen. I'm gonna put a little drizzle of olive oil. It's olive oil because it came in this nice bottle. This is a good bottle. I found some, it's a seafood seasoning, but it'll be fine on this.